Hello everyone and welcome to another Sinnisj Insulator video. This came as a special request considering that I haven't done a most difficult attic of the week video yet. And don't forget to give a nice like to this video if you do like it, and make sure that you click on that awesome subscribe button as well. Alright, now let's begin. Throughout the 2 months, obviously I've seen some very difficult attics, so let's take a look. Number 1. The building with 8 attics. That's right, 8 attics. It was a 4-story tall building that I had to fill all of these with an R60. The biggest challenge was getting the hose up to the top of the building, and also sometimes the attic locations were so far away from the truck that sometimes the remote didn't work. So I had to leave the hose there running and then displace myself to the side of the building to shut the hose on and off. Number 2. This is a 2,000 square foot house with a 900 square foot garage with a twist. So up top there was a nice entrance, as well as the other side that you saw where the garage entrance was as well. So here's a nice shot of me climbing out of that pretty difficult spot that I had just finished. The challenge there was not to slip on, obviously, the plywood that you see there, and to get a nice stance, pull the hose out, and then finish off where I couldn't really necessarily see the best on how even it was at the very, very end, because obviously I was at the very, very top. Yeah, no, it's definitely a challenge, and then just always planning ahead for your next move. And now back to the garage entrance I was talking about. And so this is the shot inside of that entrance. Behind me is the 900 square foot garage, as well as part of the house as well. Number 3. So this particular number was a 7-unit complex, 3,000 square foot total. I'm just doing sort of a nice walkthrough so you guys can see a good example of all of the types of units that were involved. This was a 2-story complex, so you had another unit up there, and up here was a set of 4 units with 2 different attic entrances each. So that was definitely the tough part. The end units were the easy part. For sure. So over on that other end is 1 unit, and on the other end was 2 attic entrances. So over here is an example of one of the top units of the 4 units that have 2 attic hatches. This is obviously the empty section, and then I'm going to show at the end the full section. So here you can see the lower part from the upper part. So here is the complete upper part. As you can see, not much room left after I'm done this. And then here's the lower part, so you can see it's a nice drop. I want to mention the soffit was going to be installed that same day to avoid any wind damage. Number 4, you've probably seen this as one of my first videos. This was for sure an eye-opener for me. You can see right there is where I built a cardboard wall around the attic hatch, just to prevent any loose fill from falling inside of the house. I was basically standing on a 2-foot high platform, and I had to fill basically between the ceiling and the platform that I'm standing on all the way across. It was 80 feet long. And then right there was that those small parts that I had to go through. Wasn't very wide. I think at the widest it was about 14 feet. Now you can see right here is where I definitely struggled to get through. At the very beginning on the when I was actually trying to get in, I couldn't even see my feet dangling, and of course, as you know from previous videos, you have to have your footing on the trusses so you don't fall through, because obviously you don't want to step on the drywall. The drywall is only held by drywall screws, which, well, it's not going to hold up my entire weight. So there you go. And now finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the worst attic from the list there. A nice giant 3,000 square foot of blowing, and here we go, cellulose. Yes, so when you install that stuff, it's difficult to see, especially with the hose that we use there. There was heat runs that were basically covered a little bit, and 2 drops. So this is the first drop that I had to go down, and it was always a challenge. You always have to have a 3-point contact. The gloves that I use are definitely acrylic coated, so they provide extra grip so that I can get a nice handle when I want to grab onto those 2x4 trusses. Thankfully, there was sort of a section of a roof there that I could grab on to get down. You always have to plan, and well, you see there I kind of look like a monkey. But yeah, definitely had to complete all of that section and then plan to climb back up. So during this job, you definitely increase in upper body strength. So for those that want a challenge, well, here you go, you know. Insulate your attic, especially if it's a big house like this, and that's definitely going to be quite the adventure for you. So again, with something like this, I had to fill as much as I could with the cellulose and then pull the hose back, and then after that finish off from the top. Again, not ideal. I wasn't too worried there because this was topping up some hard bats. As long as the areas between the bats were nicely covered, it's good. Alright, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.